This video is an introduction and breakdown of the University of Arkansas's Climbing Club Facebook page and how it functions as an affinity space for students. It's a place where students with a shared passion can participate, share knowledge, socialize, and educate themselves on the sport. The content that is shared among the club members and Facebook page users emphasizes and circulates around the shared passion. One of the ways students can participate is to share pictures and videos with one another. These can be informative, humorous, or educational. Students can also share information about different styles, types, and places for climbing. This could include videos or pictures about ice climbing, deep water soloing, or even maps on places of where to climb. The space is also where students can gather to post pictures of old, used, or new gear that they wish to sell to one another. Also, students can share articles on safety techniques or gear. For instance, a student could upload a post about a gear recall or an article about systematically checking your gear with each trip outdoors. Students can also ask for and receive advice from more experienced climbers. For example, someone new to the area or climbing in general may ask the group advice on where to climb or what kind of gear he or she should invest in. The page functions mainly as a way for students to interact with one another. However, it's also a way to get more involvement from certain groups within the club. For instance, the space gives the club the opportunity to address groups that are not as well represented in the space. For example, certain leaders in the club encourage more female involvement and participation through special events just for them. There's also an opportunity for club members and affinity space users to associate with others outside of the club. Members can operate businesses like Fayetteville and Lewis and Clark through the club's page and even socialize and interact with people from different universities. Students can also use the affinity space to form, organize, and join climbing trips. There is a subtle hierarchy to the affinity space, and that is dictated mostly by the content presented. Leaders and office holders within the club post meeting times and dates, activities going on within the club, and are responsible for organizing the bigger climbing trips. Beginners, or newbies, look to leaders and more experienced climbers for guidance and advice in terms of the level of involvement and the sport in general. However, everyone is encouraged and allowed to post any kind of climbing-related content that they want. In relation to classroom functions, all are encouraged and allowed to participate in the conversation. Diverse knowledge is welcome, as is in-depth knowledge in certain areas. The conversation is loosely guided by the hierarchy of club officers and experienced climbers, who focus as the teacher or instructor in a classroom situation. Also, those participating control their level of involvement, and it is completely self-directed. Some will just read the posts uploaded to Facebook, others will post pictures or comments here and there, and some will use the page to socialize outside of the affinity space, deepen their knowledge of the sport, and further their own levels of engagement and involvement. The space functions in a way that all levels of climbing are encouraged, one climber is not perceived as more important than the other, and no one is excluded on how much or how little they participate.